this bullshit for a very long time. Phaedra did this exact same thing to me, as we've already discussed before. Years ago on the show, when she first came on, she brought on my half biological sister on the show and filmed with her the same way she did with Kandi when she brought that Johnny guy on. She did the same thing to me, tried to take me down, and it didn't work because we ended up getting it before it even hit the air. So Phaedra's been doing stuff like this. She just got caught with...
Y'all, the screen stays black for a heartbeat too long, then a splintered murmur echoes through the silence, like a soul cracking under secrets it can't carry anymore. She's done this for years. She came for me too. And then, void. A hush so heavy it feels like the past itself is gasping beneath the surface, clawing upward, begging for air. Because tonight, the polished fairy tale built around Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker's perfect love story is about to split wide open. And the woman swinging the hammer, NeNe Leakes, the only one fearless enough to scream what everyone else only whispers in locked rooms. NeNe swears this was never love.it was a design. A deal stitched together with ego, hunger, and lies buried so deep even Bravo's cameras miss the ghost standing in the corner. She claims Kandi didn't marry Todd for her heart. She picked him for leverage. Because Todd didn't walk into that union as an equal. And Todd? NeNe says he built his own ladder in the dark, chasing status, chasing money, even circling Porsha whenever Kandi looked the other way. But NeNe didn't stop with the couple. She named Mama Joyce. She named Riley. She exposed the quiet machinery grinding behind closed doors, the shadows fans were never meant to see. And if NeNe's words are true, this divorce isn't heartbreak, it's the collapse of a dynasty hiding in plain sight. So hold your breath, because what's about to unfold is Judgment Day.
About Kandi and Mama Joyce in your blog about the Bailey Bowl, you said, Kandi, you have never seen me walk away from a fight, and you've never seen me physically fight.
Right on.
My son was at this event, and as much as I would like to be Mama Joyce and take my shoe off and hit somebody or drag someone down the street, I would never stoop so low to the gutter with my son around.
100% correct.
That
My
pissed me
son
off.
was, well,
Because you didn't have to address my mom in your blog.
Well, I did.
That's first off, you
I
shouldn't
did.
have.
Well, I
because
did,
you
and
don't
I
want people
could.
to address your family.
Listen,
and I just
Kandi,
feel like any
you said
time
in your
that you
interview
always
and
say,
said what you
I
had to
never
say.
address your
Go ahead,
family on
go ahead and
anything.
talk. Go ahead
I
and say
never
what you gotta
address your
say.
family or
Go ahead,
anything.
but you can't.
Well, I am saying what I want to say because
ahead.
I don't address your family. You wouldn't appreciate it. And that's one of the instances of what I be trying to tell you about. You do stuff that you don't like for people to do to you. Now, you can say whatever you want to me. I really don't care. But you shouldn't have addressed my
The screen emerges from darkness with a slow, unsettling glow. A hush settles across the space, dense, suffocating, like the moment truth finally rips through everything that tried to bury it. Tonight, we bring you a revelation no one believed would ever escape the vault. NeNe Leakes, the undisputed architect of RHOA reality, has unleashed a revelation so volatile, so long hidden, that it has sent shockwaves ripping through the Bravo universe. According to NeNe, what fans admired as a glamorous union was nothing but a meticulously rehearsed production. A stage play disguised as romance. A partnership engineered not with emotion, but with calculation, hierarchy, and survival instinct. NeNe insists Kandi Burruss didn't choose Todd Tucker out of affection, she chose him for control. Todd, she claims, came into the marriage financially outgunned, socially overshadowed, and entirely dependent on Kandi's spotlight. To NeNe, this wasn't a love match, it was a strategic acquisition. Kandi saw a moldable partner, a man she could position, shape, and dominate because he needed her far more than she ever needed him. And Todd? NeNe says he ran his own covert play. The devotion he projected on camera? A performance. Behind the scenes, his loyalty, allegedly, belonged not to Kandi, but to the lifestyle her fame afforded him. A loyalty rooted in access, not emotion. But NeNe didn't limit her accusations to the marriage. She went further. She claimed that throughout Bravo taping, Kandi attempted to orchestrate more than just her household. She tried to quietly direct the entire cast. Every storyline, every alliance, every narrative beat that could elevate her above the rest, even if it meant nudging other women into roles that strengthened her own arc. NeNe even alleged that Kandi subtly attempted to maneuver Porsha Williams into her behind-the-scenes agenda, not directly, but with calculated hints and quiet manipulations, just enough to shape public perception while keeping her own hands spotless. According to NeNe, Kandi and Todd's marriage wasn't rooted in affection. It was anchored in illusion. A prenup built to secure Kandi's empire. A marital structure that guaranteed her financial dominance. And a husband who, allegedly, stayed because the perks outweighed the reality. Then came NeNe's most explosive claim, Todd and Porsha. A secret affair. And possibly a child. Whether fact or fabrication, NeNe delivered it with the conviction of someone who believes she watched the storm gather for years, while Kandi remained willfully blind. From there, NeNe shifted her spotlight toward Mama Joyce and Riley, and the picture turned far darker. Mama Joyce, she claimed, wasn't merely protective. She was corrosive. According to NeNe, she poisoned the marriage from the moment it began, branding Todd an opportunist long before fans ever echoed the idea. And Riley? Shaped by years of bitterness from both Kandi and her mother, Riley allegedly never saw Todd as a father figure at all. In NeNe's words, this wasn't a family. It was an enterprise, a brand, a meticulously managed business with no real emotional root system. Then came the allegation that sent the fandom spiraling. The infamous threesome, the one Kandi once joked about publicly, wasn't simply a quirky confession. NeNe framed it as a glimpse into the architecture of their marriage, Kandi controlling the environment, the narrative, even the intimacy, while Todd played along, never rising to the level of an equal partner. NeNe warned viewers that this union was doomed from inception. Two people can mimic love, can present solidarity, can share children, can build a home, but they cannot manufacture a heart. Behind the practiced smiles and polished appearances, NeNe claims the disconnect was always there, obvious, widening, and impossible to hide forever.
These overrated and overpaid.
I do.
Tell me why.
I just don't think that, me and Kandi, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Kandi and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that I never ever understood why she has so much animosity towards me. And some of these other girls who are ripping her apart like she's back friends with Porsha. Now, and I love Porsha, but I would not be friends with Porsha if I was Kandi. According to what Porsha and Phaedra did to her, then she should probably never be friends with her again. But she's found a way to bridge the gap, and now they're talking.
NeNe's message couldn't be more blunt. Kandi doesn't move through feelings. She moves through calculation. To her, friendships aren't emotional bonds, they're assets. Even betrayals can be swept aside if they elevate her narrative on screen. This revelation forces viewers to reevaluate everything they ever believed about Kandi and Todd, because if even her friendships were tactical maneuvers, then what does that imply about the foundation of their marriage? And then NeNe delivered her final strike, aimed straight at Todd. She insisted Todd never felt genuine love for Kandi. Not the kind that anchors a marriage. Not the kind that survives storms. Not the kind a partner deserves. His rumored entanglement with Porsha, if real, only highlighted how emotionally absent he allegedly was from the beginning. Yet, according to NeNe, he remained in the marriage because the financial security Kandi provided made walking away unthinkable. In NeNe's telling, this wasn't a love story at all. It was an unspoken contract between two people who each needed something very different and very strategic from the other. And the moment NeNe's claims hit the public, social media erupted. Timelines drowned in disbelief, fury, obsession, and speculation. Every viewer, every hater, every Bravo loyalist found themselves spiraling over the possibility that the marriage they celebrated for years wasn't romance, but architecture. A blueprint. A staged illusion crafted not for each other, but for the audience. NeNe ripped the curtain wide open. She exposed the fractures, the covert moves, the buried dynamics, the rumored infidelity, and the emotional vacuum that she claimed shaped Kandi and Todd's marriage from the very beginning. And if this is only the opening blow, then what follows will rattle not just Bravo, but every corner of the world paying attention. Because NeNe leaks didn't just unmask a marriage, she unmasked an entire empire. And even after NeNe ripped the mask from their marriage, the deeper you dig, the more obvious it becomes that this was never simply a story about affection, betrayal, or even celebrity chaos. This was a story about power, a quiet, creeping power that dictated every breath inside that home. The kind of power that doesn't scream. It whispers. It nudges. It closes the door 1 inch at a time, until suddenly no one inside remembers what freedom felt like. For years, people viewed Kandi Burruss as immovable, confident, polished, untouchable. But NeNe claimed that beneath that shining exterior lived a woman terrified of losing control. Someone who believed that if she could hold the narrative, she could hold the world. And Todd Tucker, NeNe said, became the perfect piece in that silent kingdom. A husband presented to the public as loving and supportive, yet privately used as a limb of Kandi's growing brand. NeNe described a marriage where Todd understood the rules. He understood the invisible lines, how rigid they were, and how swiftly consequences followed when he dared step beyond them. Not loud consequences, quiet ones. Withdrawn affection. Emotional distance. Financial reminders. Power disguised as compromise. To outsiders, it looked solid. But inside, it felt more like a business arrangement being renegotiated every day. And then came the Porsha situation. NeNe didn't label it a rumor. She called it a flashing warning sign the world pretended not to see. She said Todd and Porsha's connection didn't erupt out of nowhere, it simmered slowly, through whispered conversations, subtle sparks, and a chemistry the cameras were never meant to capture. According to NeNe, those whispers didn't come from nowhere. And the possibility of a child? That was the kind of bombshell that could detonate an entire franchise. The kind of secret Kandi's team would bury before Dawn ever touched it. But NeNe insisted it wasn't the alleged affair that truly damaged the marriage, it was the truth Kandi refused to face. The truth that Todd may never have been fully hers. Not in his emotions. Not in his loyalty. Not even in strategy. Because opportunists don't attach themselves to people, only to chances. Still, NeNe's darkest revelation wasn't about Todd's wandering heart. It wasn't even about Porsha. It was about the climate inside Kandi's home. NeNe alleged that Mama Joyce didn't just resent Todd, she kept the resentment alive, feeding Kandi's fears until the marriage morphed from a partnership into a controlled environment. Every choice, every financial move, every personal shift was quietly influenced by Mama Joyce's approval or disapproval. And Kandi, trying to preserve her flawless public image, allegedly bent under that influence more than anyone ever imagined. NeNe claimed Riley grew up breathing that same atmosphere. That her distance from Todd wasn't a teenage rebellion, it was conditioning. To her, Todd wasn't a father figure. He was a tolerated presence, useful, stable, but never truly accepted. A man who could contribute, but never belong. And according to NeNe, no amount of fame, money, or branding could repair a fracture created by years of emotional separation. Then NeNe dropped the detail that sent viewers into absolute shock, the alleged threesome. She didn't present it as scandal, she offered it as proof. Proof that intimacy in that household wasn't born from closeness, but from control. Proof that boundaries bent whenever they aligned with Kandi's narrative. Proof that Todd participated not from desire, but from obligation, because pushing back meant risking the entire foundation beneath him. NeNe described a marriage where nothing happened naturally. Nothing flowed organically. Nothing was mutual. It was all curated, staged, adjusted, like a production rehearsed until it played well to the world. She claimed Todd began emotionally slipping away long before anyone noticed. He mastered survival through silence, through compliance, through moving like a man who understood that his place depended on staying small. And when he didn't, when he drifted outward, toward someone like Porsha, it wasn't a surprise. According to NeNe, Todd already knew the truth. He didn't live in a marriage. He lived in Kandi's ecosystem. But NeNe didn't paint Todd as innocent. She made it clear that Todd wasn't a casualty, he was an architect of his own benefit. She said he stayed because he understood the value of proximity to Kandi's empire. He gave just enough to remain indispensable and took everything the lifestyle offered in return. He wasn't manipulated, he acclimated. He wasn't clueless, he strategized. And when opportunity with Porsha arose, he didn't stumble into it, he stepped into it like someone who had been quietly waiting for his escape route. And then NeNe said something that froze the internet. She said Kandi wasn't devastated by Todd's betrayal, she was devastated by the exposure. Not because she lost him, but because she lost control. She lost the storyline. She lost her grip on the image she had spent years refining. NeNe insisted Kandi fought harder for her reputation than she ever fought for her marriage. And Todd knew that. He knew she would attempt to spin the narrative before she addressed the truth behind it. NeNe claimed the reason Kandi looked blindsided wasn't because she didn't know, it's because the world found out before she could contain it. A marriage that had been curated like a brand was suddenly unraveling live, and she wasn't ready. But NeNe's most chilling revelation wasn't what she exposed. It was what she warned. She said the public has seen only fragments. That Bravo's storyline was crafted as carefully as the marriage itself. That Kandi has always been masterful at revealing just enough pain to keep sympathy high, while never revealing enough truth to lose control. NeNe said the divorce didn't destroy Kandi. It revealed her. It revealed fractures she'd been patching in silence. It revealed a husband who never fully belonged in her world. It revealed a family structure built not on affection, but on rank and influence. It revealed a woman who forged an empire through control and watched it crumble the moment control slipped from her hands. By the time NeNe finished, fans weren't stunned because the claims were outrageous. They were stunned because the claims made sense. Because they echoed tensions viewers had noticed for years. Because they aligned with moments that always felt a little too polished, a little too rehearsed. Because the truth, as NeNe told it, didn't sound impossible. It sounded familiar. But the fallout from their exposed marriage wasn't the final chapter, in many ways, it was only the spark. The instant the illusion shattered, the world finally saw what had been hiding beneath their polished exterior. Because once NeNe's revelations hit the air, once fans began stitching together everything they had ignored for years, the entire facade Kandi and Todd worked to protect started collapsing in plain sight. Behind the cameras, the strain between them wasn't something they could mask with practiced smiles or deflect with clever storylines anymore. People close to the couple whispered that the house didn't feel like a home. It felt like a bargaining table where two exhausted opponents were clinging to whatever pieces they still had left. Every hallway, every quiet moment, every tiny exchange was but the darkest twist hadn't surfaced yet. NeNe hinted that she hadn't revealed everything. That exposing the full truth would scorch whatever remained of their carefully polished image. She suggested that the emotional divide between them began years before it became visible. That Todd checked out long before fans noticed. And Kandi compensated the only way she knew how, by tightening her grip, mistaking control for closeness. And when control replaces connection, collapse is inevitable. People around the couple described an eerie quiet, the kind that grows when two people have nothing left to argue about. Not because they solved anything, but because they no longer cared enough to fight. They lived under the same roof, but their lives ran like parallel lines, never intersecting. Two people waiting for the truth to finally roar louder than the performance. Friends claimed anniversaries became obligations, not celebrations. Dinners turned into business meetings. Public appearances felt staged, like a production running out of budget. The marriage wasn't thriving, it was coasting on shared children, shared assets, and shared fear of public humiliation. So when the divorce filings surfaced, the world wasn't shocked. They were stunned, but not shocked. Because once NeNe tore away the illusion, the marriage couldn't hide inside a storyline anymore. The silence between them grew louder than fan applause. The cracks became more visible than their smiles. People finally understood the truth NeNe had been hinting at all along. Some marriages don't break. They erode. Silently. Slowly. In the moments no one sees. In the compromises that seem harmless, until they bury both people alive. Todd allegedly left emotionally years before he physically walked out. Kandi allegedly clung long after she knew it was finished, not out of love, but out of fear. Fear of losing what Todd represented. Fear of losing her image. Fear of a world she no longer controlled. And somewhere in that quiet war, both of them became trapped in a story neither recognized anymore. By the time the world caught up, by the time viewers pieced together NeNe's clues, the collapse was already complete. The divorce wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the final scene of a tragedy that had been unfolding in secret for years. And now the question haunting everyone isn't, why did they break up? It's, how did a marriage built on strategy survive as long as it did? Because in the end, NeNe didn't expose a moment. She exposed a pattern. A truth that had been waiting to be spoken. And now that it's out, nothing in their world will ever be the same again. The lights fade again, and the weight of everything exposed tonight hangs in the air like a shadow that refuses to loosen its grip. Because what NeNe Leaks unleashed wasn't simple gossip, wasn't just another Bravo meltdown, wasn't merely a celebrity marriage dissolving under the spotlight. It was a map, a blueprint of a relationship engineered through strategy, control, and quiet fractures that finally buckled beneath their own pressure. And now, as this chapter closes, one truth becomes impossible to escape. Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker weren't living a love story. They were surviving a war. A war where every smile was staged, every touch rehearsed, every public appearance sculpted into perfection while the world behind it decayed inch by inch. A war fueled by influence, distorted by family power, crowded with silent deals and hidden loyalties, all overshadowed by the secrets NeNe dared, some would say dared too much, to drag into the open. Tonight, you watched the final collapse of something that had been dying quietly for years. A truth that didn't explode, it eroded. Slowly. Steadily. Through withheld confessions, forced compromises, and silences that screamed louder than arguments ever could. But the real question isn't whether NeNe told the truth. The real question is this: if she was right about this, what else has been festering in the dark? And that's where you come in. If you want the full picture, if you want the moments Bravo buried, the secrets the cast whispered behind closed doors, the shifting alliances that rewrote friendships and detonated marriages, then don't move. Because this divorce wasn't the finale. It was the opening act. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Stay locked in. Because there are more truths waiting to surface. More lies begging to be dismantled. More masks trembling, ready to fall. This was NeNe's revelation. But the next explosion? That one could unravel the entire Bravo universe.